Hello, and welcome to our Emotional Intelligence Symposium. I'm Spencer Barlow, student at Ottawa University in the class of Emotional Intelligence in the Workplace with Dr. Brian Forsyth. They will be talking about reality testing, flexibility, and problem solving. So, Barron has 15 emotional competencies that we've been covering over the past several weeks. These other competencies we've covered are self-regard, self-awareness, empathy, social responsibility, stress tolerance, impulse control. Today we're going to be tackling 3 of them: reality testing, flexibility, and problem solving. So to get through all 3, we're going to have to hustle. So here are the 4 skills of emotional intelligence: to identify, use, understand, and manage emotions as presented in the Emotionally Intelligent Manager. So how do our 3 competencies fit in? Reality testing is under understand emotions. Flexibility is under the manage. And problem solving is to use your emotions. There's also the emotional intelligence domains as presented in primal leadership. There's the personal competencies and social competencies within a matrix of what I see and what I do. Reality testing is within the self-awareness quadrant, flexibility in the self-management quadrant, and problem solving in the relationship management quadrant. So reality testing, defined, is the ability to objectively validate our feelings and thinking with the external reality. It's a correspondence between what is internally experienced and what externally truly exists. It involves tuning in to the immediate situation, attempting to keep things in perspective and experiencing things as they really are. At the end, it's really our ability to accurately and realistically size up the immediate situation. So there was a case study that compared chronically unemployed individuals and high-achieving leaders. The unemployed individuals scored very low on EI in reality testing, while the leaders had actually the opposite, high EI scores in reality testing. So the leaders were able to succeed in different types of situations that were presented to them, and they could adjust to them with a good perspective of what reality really was. So what's the business application of this? Reality testing predicts 20% variance in work satisfaction. Also, being situationally aware helps professionals determine the risk of immediate situations. Also, this allows leaders to remain engaged in the present with clarity of perception. We're going to move on to flexibility, which is defined as the ability to adapt and adjust our feelings, thinking, and behavior to new situations. It's the ability to adapt to unfamiliar, unpredictable, and dynamic circumstances. Really, it's capable of reacting to change without rigidity and able to change one's mind or their opinions when evidence is provided in the contrary. So what are the extremes of flexibility? It is to be either rigid on one extreme or completely submissive on the other. So to be rigid is to be stiff or unyielding, not pliant or flexible, hard. Here are some other associated words: exact, harsh, stern, stringent, uncompromising, adamant, changeless, definite, unyielding. Now there's submissive, which is ready to yield to the authority of another, unresistingly obedient. Some associated words: accommodating, differential, dutiful, meek, obedient, passive, acquiescent, resigned, and docile. Both have some qualities, but taking it either of these to an extreme probably has more weaknesses. So flexibility case study was a study on compassion within organizations, which is a quality that builds trust and promotes shared values. So compassion was found to be enhanced directly by flexibility. So flexibility is defined in this case study as a way of being that includes both mindfulness and values-directed actions. So most importantly, flexibility can be developed. So as we look at the business application, we go back to that same point. Flexibility can be developed. So business is full of new situations in which we'll need to be flexible. So flexibility provides us more response choices to any given situation. The higher the level of our flexibility, the greater the capacity we have of compassion. And that will help us to react appropriately to others. We're going to move on now to problem solving, which is defined as the ability to effectively solve problems of a personal and interpersonal nature. The ability to define problems, generate alternatives, and implement effective solutions. It really is a process. It is a sense to be able to sense a problem, then defining that problem, generating many possible solutions for that problem, and then implementing one of those solutions. At the end, it's a desire to do one's best and confront problems directly. So there's a case study of 386 prospective teachers, and they were measured along the lines of emotional intelligence and problem-solving skills. What was found is that problem-solving significantly correlated to emotional intelligence. Also, with the ability to make sense of emotions and how they interact, there are more effective solutions can be found through problem solving. So the business application through the problem solving. Individuals who can recognize and control emotions show more positive approaches to problems, solving them much easier. Efforts in evaluation and planning improve problem solving skills. And the better the problem solving skills lead to self-confidence. So here are some of my takeaways as we study these three competencies. Reality testing helps leaders stay connected to the immediate situation. I know as a leader myself, being able to be in that moment with those that I lead as we face difficult challenges is of vital importance. Also, flexibility does not mean being submissive to others. You can have an opinion and still remain flexible. Also, flexibility leads to compassion, an important competency to have within an organization. Also, problem solving is enhanced by one's emotional intelligence. The more we can really connect with our own feelings and the feelings of others, the better we're going to be able to recognize any challenges and problems that are confronting us and be able to solve them in a more effective manner. So here are my references, a lot of great articles and books that we've been studying throughout our course. And I appreciate your time with me today, and I hope you have a great weekend.